Following his Academy Award-winning role in Oppenheimer, Cillian Murphy's next movie continues a consistent trend from his career. The 47-year-old actor has spent much of the 21st century in esteemed character acting roles. However, his starring opportunities in films like 28 Days Later, The Wind That Shakes the Barley, and, of course, Oppenheimer, have proven him to be one of his generation's most versatile talents. Aside from the Peaky Blinders sequel movie, Murphy's next project is a biographical drama titled Blood Runs Cold. Cillian Murphy has spent much of the past year doing press for Oppenheimer, but he's also managed to squeeze in shooting a film called Small Things Like These, produced by Oppenheimer co-star Matt Damon's company, Artists Equity. Murphy is also producing a long-awaited 28 Days Later sequel, currently titled 28 Years Later, which he's intended to star in. Despite his recent success, Cillian Murphy is staying busy, and there's a lot to look forward to in the next few years. Blood Runs Cold continues Cillian Murphy's historical drama trend. Cillian Murphy's movies have taken him to nearly every decade in the 20th century. A noticeable trend in Cillian Murphy's career is his tendency to pick historical drama films, at least over the past decade. After Oppenheimer won Best Picture at the 2024 Golden Globes, a journalist asked Murphy about his decision to work primarily on World War I and World War II films. Murphy explained that he doesn't have a strategy in choosing his roles but looks for engaging and meaningful scripts. He described the era as turbulent and interesting, explaining his reasoning for continuously returning to early 20th century period dramas. With Blood Runs Cold set in the 1960s, Murphy will appear in an era he hasn't visited in his recent work. It's the same deal with Small Things Like These, which is set in the 80s. So Murphy may be taking a break from the World Wars, at least until the Peaky Blinders movie, but he's still exploring new fascinating historical periods. The 1960s are as intriguing and turbulent of a decade as any, making it a perfect next step for Murphy's career. Oppenheimer. Cillian Murphy's options have never been more open, and he's still signing on to interesting movies. Oppenheimer holds his hand to his face in Oppenheimer. After winning an Academy Award for a movie that grossed nearly $1 billion, Cillian Murphy likely has more opportunities coming his way than ever before. While no one would shame him for taking a big paycheck to play a major franchise role, he's sticking to the films he enjoys making, telling compelling stories with rich, real-world themes. Murphy knows he has nothing to prove and is signing on for movies where he'll be in a comfortable environment while still challenging himself as an actor. The Peaky Blinders and 28 Years Later movies will likely be Cillian Murphy's big-ticket commercial installments for the foreseeable future, at least compared to the likes of Small Things Like These and Blood Runs Cold. The former is an Irish production, where he'll be joined by a talented cast including Emily Watson, Michelle Fairley, and Ciarán Hinds. Blood Runs Cold hasn't released any other casting info, but the talent involved suggests it could have a decently sized budget. Ultimately, Murphy doesn't seem to have changed his ways despite recent acclaim and is still just going after roles that interest him.